Hi students, welcome to UN Digital class. So in this lecture, we will be continuing about the basics of operating system, that is our storage structure. So as we study about storage structure, we will be seeing the different storage devices that we have in our computer system. So let us see. So we will see what are their features and what are their functions. Here we have a diagram. So in this diagram, it represents the storage device hierarchy. So on the top, we have our registers, and next we have the cache, then we have the main memory, then we have solid state disk, that is electronic disk, then we have magnetic disk, then optical disk, and finally last one is magnetic tapes. So just look at this figure starting from the registers. So registers are the smallest device and they can store data in the form of bits, that means zeros and ones. Since registers are the smallest device and can store data in the form of bits, that is ones and zeros, so the access time of the register is very fast. They can access data very quickly. So next one is what? Next one is cache. So the size of the cache is little bigger than that of the registers and little slower as compared to the registers. Next one is our main memory. This is very important part. This is very important things you all need to know about. So I will discuss later. Next is our solid state disk, magnetic disk, optical disk and magnetic tapes. So these are all your secondary storage device, secondary memory, and I will discuss later what are the main memory and what are the secondary memory, what are the need of main memory, what are the functions of main memory and why we need secondary memory. So if you look at this hierarchy, just look at this hierarchy, when you go up to the hierarchy, the devices, it becomes expensive and fast, but the size of the devices goes smaller, okay, when you go up to the hierarchy. So the last one is magnetic tapes, the last one is the bigger in size. So we can say that registers is fast and the size of the registers is small. So when you go downwards, the cost per bits increases and the access time also increases. The device's access time is increases and cost per bits is increases and the size of the devices goes larger. So if you want small size and fast access, this where you have to go. You have to go upwards. If you want large size to store more data, then you have to go downwards, okay. So I talk about the main memory, that is your RAM. Remember, main memory is your random access memory, your RAM is your main memory. So what is the functions of main memory? So remember, anything that you stored in your computer gets loaded to your main memory. So things are stored in your secondary memory but gets loaded to your main memory for execution purpose. So it gets loaded to the random access memory or main memory to be executed. So if you want to execute something, then it gets loaded to the random access memory to be executed. Then what are the functions of secondary memory? Why we need secondary memory and what do you mean by secondary memory? So I said that when you go upwards, the size of the devices goes smaller and smaller. The main memory, so the size of the main memory is limited, is small, okay. For that purpose, we have our secondary memories devices. So here are electronic disk, optical disk, magnetic tapes, magnetic disk, these are our secondary storage devices. So as the size of the main memory is limited, is too small, For that purpose we need secondary storage devices. The size of the main memory is too small, is limited. You cannot store all your data and programs into that main memory. For that purpose we have our secondary storage device. Okay, you can load, you can store all your data that you need and all other things in your secondary storage devices. Let me take examples. You have your word processing software, that is Microsoft Word, that is a software. So it is installed in your secondary memory. Actually it stays and resides in your secondary memory, but when you double click it and open it, it gets loaded to your main memory because you are going to perform some task. We often say that if your size of the RAM is bigger, then your computer works faster. You might have heard many times, if our RAM is bigger, then our computer, our device will work faster. So why do you say that? Let me take a simple example. Suppose you are in your room, in your study room, and you have a bookshelf. You have a big bookshelf where you can store many books. So in that bookshelf, you are having many books, lots of books in that bookshelf, and when you want to read a book, what you do? You take out the books from that bookshelf and keep it on your table and read it. So in that room, consider besides you there is a small table in your room. So when you want to read a book, you take out a book from the bookshelf and keep it on your table and read it. So consider that small table is your random access memory, your main memory. So if your table is small, then what happens? The table can accommodate 1 or 2 books, not more than that. If your table is small, you can read 1 book at a time, or you can keep 1 book at a time in that table. So the table cannot keep more than 1 book, okay, as it is too small. If your main memory in your system is too small, then you cannot store more things, more programs into your main memory, right? So that does not matter how huge, how big your bookshelf is, that does not matter. How many books you can read at a time, you can keep at a time, is depends on your table, okay. So same way, just think that that small table is your random access memory or your main memory. So how many secondary memories you have, that does not matter, but when it has to be executed, it loaded to your main memory. So if your main memory is small, then your device will be slower because it cannot accommodate more data in that. So if your main memory is too big, then your device will be faster, your device works faster. So that is why you usually hear that if you are bigger RAM, then your device will work faster. So next is, I said that the main memory is volatile in nature. So volatile means what? Volatile means it loses its contents when power is removed. So our main memory, cache and registers are volatile in nature. So when the power provided to this memory is switched off, the contents, the data are stored in that memory will be removed or erased. So what is non-volatile? So non-volatile means it retains its contents even when power is removed. So our secondary memories, solid state SSD, magnetic disk, optical disk and magnetic tapes, these are all non-volatile in natures, and your main memory, cache and registers are volatile in natures. So our electronic disk can be made up of volatile as well as non-volatile, and your main memory is many types of RAM are there in your system. We can use the volatile as well as non-volatile RAM also. This is called NVRAM. So these are the things we should knowing about. We understood the storage structure, we understood the storage device, then we understood the hierarchy, We understood main memory, secondary memory and their natures and features. See you in the next one. Thank you.